In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your iPEGS Enterprise account. All iPEGS Enterprise accounts come with a 30-day free trial, so you can test the system and see if it works for you. Once you've signed up and registered, you will get an automated email from the system, and then all you need to do is go onto the My Account section of the website and log in here as I'm doing now. Once you've logged in, you'll come to the My Account section. Here you can change the account email, reset the passwords, you can add your business information, and you can also manage your subscriptions. The first thing I'm going to do is set up my company branding. So the way this works is all of your forms will default to this company branding. So if you don't set up any company branding, your forms will not have any logos or footers, but if you do, then all the forms will default to this. You can override the branding on individual forms, but this just makes it easy when you are using multiple forms. I'm going to add in my company footer. It's fairly straightforward. And then I'm going to add a logo to my header. So you simply search for the logo image. You can set the alignment. So in this case, I'm going to add it to the center of my forms. And that logo is then added. And you can add multiple logos to your header or your footer. We advise no more than 3 logos, but obviously you can add as many as you like. So that's my company branding setup, nice and straightforward. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a form. So if we go to the form manager, and here you have a number of options. You can add a custom form or you can add a questionnaire. A questionnaire is a fixed format. And a custom form is any kind of form. So let's add a custom form. So we'll call this test form. You can add a description to the form. You can select the color of the form. And you can store it in a folder. We've not created any folders here, but you can obviously do that. We have a number of form types. In this case, we're going to focus on an app form, but we also offer web forms. We'll cover those in a different video. And you can also define the form owner. The way that works is when a form is submitted, that form owner will receive an email notification letting them know that a form has been submitted. And you can assign that to a specific user group. So in this case, we're going to add it to the example group. You'll see that the branding is defaulted to company branding, but it's here that I can change that. So if I wanted to override the company branding, maybe you were working in partnership with someone, you can then manually add the logos and the footers here as you did with the main company branding. So that's it, I've created my form and I now need to add fields to that form, and that's done via this little plus button here. So if I click on that, I can then add my field name. So I'm going to put heading. And the input type, these are all the different types of fields you can add. So I'm going to add a heading, and I'm going to have the label and field in the center. I'm going to add that field, and you can see there's my heading. So very, very straightforward. You will also notice as I've scrolled down the page, we get a menu, a floating menu on the left-hand side here, and this enables you to drag and drop fields into the form. If you're not sure what the icon is, just leave your mouse pointer over the top and it will say what it is. So I'm going to add a text field, so I'm going to drag the text field across. I'm going to call it name. I can define the number of characters if I wanted to set a minimum and maximum number of characters. And I can also choose if I want the field to be optional to complete, whether I want a warning if someone misses it, whether it has to be a mandatory field, whether that field has to be completed as part of the process. So in this case, I'm going to say a minimum characters of 1. I want someone to enter something, and we'll say a maximum of 20, as it's somebody's name. So there we have a name. I'm not going to go through all of these field types, but let's say I want to add a pick list. Okay, so let's say we're going to call this options. When I add my pick list values, I have to separate them with a comma. So A, comma, B, comma, C, comma, D. And if I add that now, you can see there is my pick list. So creating and adding fields to your form is very easy. I'm going to add in a signature here as well. Let's say I want somebody to sign this form. Let's add a signature in there, and so on and so forth. So building and creating your form is very easy. You can drag and drop items, you can clone fields, and you can also go back and edit them. So let's say I needed to add an additional option to my pick list here. I could then add in E later on, and I might want to change that again. I might want to make that a warning field. So very, very quick and easy to build a form. Obviously this is quite a short form. If you want to see what the form looks like, there is a small app form preview button. If you click on that, that will show you more or less what the form will look like on the iPEGS app. So I've created my form, so I'm going to save and close that now. But the next thing I need to do is look at my users and my user groups. So if I go to user groups, you'll see that we'd already created an example group here. And to add more groups, it's very, very straightforward. It could be customers, for example. It could be your customer group. Maybe you want to create a group for your employees or your students or whoever it may be. You can create and add as many groups as you like. Where groups come in is in relation to the permissions of the form. So you'll see here that the test form is currently assigned to example groups. Well, let's say I want to add that form, I want to give that form to other groups. I can simply go and I can click on that. I want my employees to have access to that form. And then all users that are assigned to those groups will be able to view the form within the app. So let's go to User Manager. We've got no users apart from your main account. But if I want to add a user, I simply click on Add User. I type in their email address, select what groups I want them to be part of, click Enable, hit Save, and the system will automatically email them a link where they can set their own password. Once they've set their own password, they can log into the app and they will be able to view the forms that you have assigned them. When they access those forms, they can then export them via email or to the cloud, or they can submit them to iPEGS, and those forms would appear here in the completed forms section of the app. And you're able to select dates and run reports on the forms that have been created. So hopefully that gives you a quick overview about how to get going with the iPEGS Enterprise system. We are here to help. If you get stuck, please email us support@ipegs.co.uk, and if you'd like us to build an example form for you, simply email us at support and we'll do our very best to help you.